Good afternoon. Welcome to Lunch Break with Ekow Mensah. Thank God it's Friday, and this is our fifth edition or fifth episode. We've survived a week where we have tomorrow to go, but for those of you who have been following and commenting and supporting my commitment to bring to you one live video a day for as long as I can this year, I just say thank you and God bless you for your support. And today is Friday, and I talk about love, relationships, and marriage on Fridays because it's very important. It's an integral part of our life, and everything that we do because of love, we do because of relationship, we do because of passion or a certain kind of feeling. So it's just right that on Fridays we take time to talk about love. Interesting facts. Love today has about 484 million people talking about it. All right. So there are 484 million people in the world talking about love. And to find out, just do the hashtag and bring love and see how many people are talking about it. So if 484 million people are talking about love today, then you should know that love is very, very important. The world needs more love and not less of it. In the absence of love is hate, and hate is just destructive. So we should pursue love. We should love one another, and we should ensure that, we are genuinely loving each other. But today, we are looking at an interesting topic, and the question is, can love ever be unconditional? Can love ever be unconditional? And I was asking earlier with my lunch break poster that people should let me know what their thoughts are. And interestingly, some people, those that commented all agreed that it's only God whose love is unconditional. But even in the Bible, there are verses that tell us that, God hates, the scornful, he hates the sinners, and then the people that like violence, he doesn't like them. So I'm not too sure even if that is true, but there are indications that God loved us even when we're sinners, and that he loves us unconditionally. So I guess it's true that God's love is unconditional, but generally with human beings, can love ever be unconditional? All right. So today we're going to look at it and let's break it down. Let's start with the word love. What is love? What do you think love is? If you join me on this live or maybe later when you see this video, I want you to comment below and tell me what you really think love is. Okay. So let's just Google that and then see what Google says. Love is an intense feeling of deep affection or great interest and pleasure in something. That's what Google says, that love is an intense feeling of deep affection and great interest and pleasure in something. And it's also when you like or enjoy something very much. So somebody says, I love football. That means that it's gone beyond so it's beyond the normal, so they would die for football. So that's some of the meanings of love out there. An intense feeling of deep affection, a great interest or pleasure in something, or to like or enjoy something or someone very much. And that's the definition that Google gave me on what love is. But let's look at what the Bible says about love. Okay. And this popular scripture, I'm sure a lot of you know it. Those of you who went to Sunday school, you know this very, very well. At least if there's no verse in the Bible, this John 3:16, dear. You should know. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. So even in this most popular scripture in the Bible, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, we realize that love is one thing and one thing only, and that's giving. Okay, and earlier I wrote an article this morning on ways to see that your relationship is going to be beans or is going to end in tears very soon. And there are 10 ways, but today I talked about 3 ways, and I hope you go and read it. But in that article, you realize that love is essentially giving. Anybody that opens their mouth to say they love you and they don't demonstrate that in an act of giving, not just in gifts, but in time, in attention, in emotions, in even like remembering special occasions, special dates, just spending time having you in mind, because all that is an act of giving. All that are acts of giving. So then love is giving. And love, from my own definition, is a decision. Okay, so the world would always equate love to a feeling or an affection or an emotion. But feelings, affections, or emotions are truly conditional. Things trigger feelings of happiness or feelings of sadness. Things trigger it. When I send you a Momo alert right now, you have a sense of, a feeling of happiness. Even if you send it back to me, the gesture alone, would help you to have this sense of, oh, this guy cares about me. Or so affection, feelings, emotions, and all those things are very, very conditional. And they are periodic. So it happens and then it goes. It's not perpetual. So sometimes you feel good, sometimes you feel bad, sometimes you feel loved, sometimes you don't. So if you equate this thing called love to a feeling, then what that means is that there is no longevity to it, because there's no human being that is always happy. There's no human being that is always sad. Well, some people choose to be sad all the time, but truly, there are times that sometimes we're sad, sometimes we are not, and they are all dependent on what the current conditions are. So if you equate love to emotions or feelings or deep affection or all those things, it means that they are not necessarily going to be perpetual. So it doesn't really stay for that long. So then if you're in love with someone and is an emotion, then the emotions are triggered by who the person is, what the person does, and some of the things that you love about the person. And when the person starts losing these traits, these characteristics, these things that make you so fond of them, then you tend to ask yourself if you really were in love with them, or if you really were in love with her, or if you are even in love with them now. So for me, I really do think that love is not an emotion or a feeling or a deep sense of affection. Those things can be like, those things can be lust, those things can be affection, emotion. It can be what they are. It doesn't necessarily have to describe what love is. So for my definition of love, it is 2 things. One is a decision, and 2 is giving. Okay? So, for God so loved the world that he gave. He gave. For Ekow so loved my followers that I give them a video every day. You literally demonstrate your love for someone by giving, by sacrifice, by going out of your way to let them see that it's not just about how I feel about you, but I am committing to showing you actions that are reflective of my words. So then if people just say and their actions don't correlate with what they are saying, you should know they are not in love with you. They are in for another reason beyond love. So some of us get caught up in all these emotional things so that, oh, he makes me feel good. If I have to ask all of you who are in relationships and marriages why you are in love with this person, you probably would tell me something that bothers around how he makes you feel, how he makes you think, how he challenges you, and things like that. And all that is well and good. But at the end of the day, when those things are not happening, how do you feel about this person? So 2 things you should bear in mind when we talk about what love is 1, it is a decision that you make to love someone. You see, when I make a decision to love someone, then it is my responsibility to find reasons every day, not from them, but from me, to continue loving this person. So then it's not about what they do or say or how I feel about them. It is a decision I have made to love them. So sometimes when you made a decision to love your kids, or you've made a decision to love your spouse, your partner, sometimes they are the most annoying people in the world, but because you've made a decision, you still love them regardless. And that's why when people hear about some of the things that you're going through and you're still in love with them and you're still staying with them, they don't understand. But one thing that is clear to you is that you've made a decision that this is the person that I'm going to love. And that's why you remain faithful to the person. Everybody has a tendency to cheat. Everybody has a tendency to abuse. But the truth is, when you make a decision to love someone, it is up to you to find reasons every day, not from them, but from yourself to love them. And then 2, how do you demonstrate this decision to love? By giving. You cannot go through an entire day and not give a minute in your mind to think about this person. It's not possible. Yes, you may be busy. Yes, you may be, carried away by time and everything, but the decision you've made to love someone, to let someone be important to you, would make you want to give them a sense of belonging, a sense of care, a sense of tenderness, by letting them know that you have them in mind. It's a decision and an act of giving. Giving is what demonstrates love. So sometimes it's not even in the magnitude of the things that you do. Sometimes just buying a chocolate, buying a toffee, buying something. Because you see, every time you've actually felt that you're in love, the first thing you always want to do is to demonstrate it by giving something. Trust me, you see, when someone says they love you, and you don't find any reason or any way that they are trying to show you that they love you, they don't. Even when they are busy, they still find a way to drive to your place. Even when they are busy, they still pick a call and check up on you. Even when they are busy, when they miss a call, they return it. Even when they are busy, they send you a WhatsApp to let you know they're thinking about you. It is not about you. It is about them and the decision they've made to love you. So that is love. We'll come to the topic of the day, which is this thing called love unconditional? But when you get the fundamentals right, from my perspective, and it's my perspective, so please, you can challenge me and all that, but I've always had this in mind that you can't say you love someone and not make the decision to love them. And that's why some people stay with some people for so long. And because their partners know that these people have made a decision to love them, unfortunately, they tend to abuse it. And you see, you can love someone, but you don't have to stay with them. We'll get there. I'm sure that will be another video for another day. But today we are looking at, is this thing love unconditional? And we are trying to break love down. And I'm taking my time because yesterday, one of my very good friends says that when I talk, I don't breathe. I just talk. Because I have so much to say in a very limited time, so forgive me. I'm trying to breathe today. But this subject of love that is being spoken about 484 million times today is so important to me because everything is hinged on love. Everything rises and falls on love. Everything, even running a country. Because if a country is loved by their president, their good and well-being comes first. But if a country is run by a selfish person that has no love, their selfish interest comes first. And it shows everywhere. Love is in so many magnitude. It can be a dynamite. It can be a nuclear bomb. Love is so malleable that everything rises and falls on it. And for me, I'm a sucker for love. I like this thing called love. I study it. I read about it. I express it because you see, everything rises and falls on love. And love for me is just 2 things: decision and giving. If you can't see these 2 things in anybody that says they love you, if parents love their kids, even when they can't afford, they go the distance to make sure you have the best life they know how to give. And in the absence of that, Parents become irresponsible. When someone says they love you, you don't find it hard to see that they've made the decision on their own and they are demonstrating it through giving. And this is not, it doesn't have anything to do with money. And that's why you can see two poor people madly in love, and the demonstration of that love is just the time they spend together. The intangibles are more important than the tangibles. Sometimes we let the intangibles, the tangibles are more important than intangibles, but sometimes we let the intangibles overshadow our sense of reasoning. So this guy doesn't buy me things. This guy doesn't give. Is he your guardian? Is he your parent? Why should a boyfriend or a girlfriend be responsible for your financial well-being? It's not a transaction. And if he's giving you, why are you not also giving? Because in giving, there's expectation. Anyway, so two things. Love is a decision and love is giving. So is this decision and giving unconditional? The straightforward answer, if you are expecting it from me, is that there's really nothing like unconditional love. Nothing. Because you see, first of all, there should be an object to love. Nobody loves in vacuum. Nobody loves in emptiness. Nobody loves in, there should be an object to love. There should be a person to love. There should be an activity to love. There should be something to love. I love going to school, so there should be a school. I love this woman. There should be a woman. I love my parents. There should be a parent. I love my husband. There should be a husband. I love my girlfriend. There should be a girlfriend. So because there should be an object to love, that is the first reason why love cannot be unconditional. So the condition to love is that there should be something or someone to love. And that's just me. That's like I say, this is my live videos, so you can agree or disagree with me, but let it be a healthy, dialogue. So love cannot be unconditional, but love is a decision that you make, and you decide what affects it and what doesn't. And it is in your decision of what affects and what doesn't, that is what sometimes is reflective of this unconditionality of love. But let's look at what unconditional means. Now, Google again says unconditional is not subject to any conditions. Love without strings attached. Love is offered freely. You and I know that there is no free in the world. Even for God to love you, even for God to call you his own, you need to have salvation. So then if the condition for God's love, eternal love, is salvation, then how do you say that love is unconditional? Okay, it is not unconditional. There should be a subject to love. There should be something to love. Okay, so that's the first thing. Love is a selfless act. You're not in it for yourself. That's what unconditional means. That is selfless. You're not in it for yourself. And that's why I'm saying that if you limit love to a feeling, if you limit love to affection, if you limit love to an emotion, then if you don't feel it, you don't love them anymore. But as parents, sometimes hate is a strong word, but sometimes our kids just drive us nuts. But we still love them anyway. Why? Because the condition is that they are our kids. Because if they were not our kids, you just ship them off to whoever is supposed to be responsible for them. So the condition is that as long as you remain my child, as long as I cannot do anything about the fact that you are my child, I will love you regardless. But you know that the affection towards the person grows as they meet certain expectations that you have. Okay? So that makes it conditional. That positions you at a point where you cannot say that regardless of whatever they do, you will still love them. But you see, there's a fact that binds you and your love to them, which is the fact that they are your child. And when you decide that you're going to be with someone, when you decide that you're going to be in a relationship with someone, it's a decision you've made. So there's a room for error. And when that room for error is exhausted, your decision to keep staying is a decision out of the evaluation of the risk associated. So then if the room for error which has been given has been surpassed and you still stay, it is on you. It is your responsibility, and anything that happens to you is your responsibility, not them. Because you see, you made this decision, and if you gave a room for error and it has been, for instance, there's no boundaries, he doesn't respect you, he's abusing you, and it's so unfortunate. You see, it is the people that genuinely love who gets abused the most. I don't understand that. It makes me so sad that those that genuinely open their hearts to love are the ones that get abused the most. And they get so hurt that they make a decision not to ever decide to love anybody else. So regardless of whoever they find who probably also makes a decision to love them, it's not the same anymore. They've been broken. Okay? So is love unconditional? Like I said, it's not, because there are supposed to be certain metrics that will result in you making that decision. But at what point would you say that this love doesn't have to exist anymore? Truth is, for me, I feel that if you've ever genuinely loved someone, you don't ever stop. Sometimes I have conversations with people and then they say that, oh, I broke up with this person and it hurts me so much and I don't love them anymore. I just feel that the conditions have changed in a way that you've made a decision not to love them anymore. But if those conditions change, there's a likelihood that you probably would love them again. I don't think people get over love if it was really genuine. The only thing is that they replace it with hate, and hate is as strong as love. So then when you replace love that you once had with someone with hate, what now happens is that even though you still have a very strong emotion towards this person, it's not that of a decision to love by giving, it's a decision to hate by taking, because hate takes, love gives. And that's why when somebody hates someone to the point of they can't bear it anymore, they can even kill, because you see, that is the ultimate act of demonstration of hate. Death. Death. And that's why God wants to give you life and the devil wants to give you death. Because the devil hates you so much that he can only demonstrate his hate for you through that. And God can only demonstrate his love for you through hate. And that's why God or Jesus had to die, to demonstrate an overpowering of hate and replace it with love by his resurrection. I'm not preaching. I'm just sharing with you the wisdom that I believe God has given me. Because without conquering hate, which is equally as powerful as love, because hate is also a decision, but the only thing is that it's driven by emotion to take away. So you want to hurt the person who hurt you. I don't know if you've heard this phrase before, hurting people hurts people. So then you want to show them. And that's why some of you are filled with hate so much that your life is completely being transformed. You're not yourself anymore. Everything you do is to show someone. Free yourself. Free yourself. Because at the end of the day, this is your life. And this is a decision you've made to continuously give them the power to consistently abuse you, even when they are not together with you. Because that's what you do if you decide that you are going to show someone. You're giving them the power to still keep taking from you. Okay, so I guess we have to continue because time flies so much when I'm doing my live. And now that I have to breathe and take my time to explain these nuggets, I don't know. Forgive me, but Alice, I'm not preaching. Gabby says there's a thin line between love and hate. There is. It's actually the same decision we make. It's actually the same decision we make. But the only difference between love and hate is that one gives and one takes. And regardless of who says they love you, as long as they keep taking away from you and never replenishing, they don't love you. They may not necessarily say they hate you, but they are demonstrating hate. But you see, so you love someone so much that you keep giving, and being depleted, and he keeps taking. And at the end of the day, you get to a point where you have nothing else to give. And that's why you get into depression. That's why you go mad, because you've depleted your love so much that there is nothing else to demonstrate that you love someone else. Because you see, people take, just check, anybody that keeps taking away from you, they don't check on you, they don't call you, and you love them so much, you keep checking, and they keep taking. Very soon, what you realize is that, listen, you completely depleted. And that's why you feel that, Charlie, I've given up on this love. Some of you say that. I've given up on ever loving again. I've given up on ever thinking that I'm going to get married. I've given up on, you've given up. Was it a decision you made, or it was because you allowed yourself to be so depleted that you don't have that, you don't feel you have enough to give anybody anymore? Listen, and I'm speaking to both men and women here. Men, when women love you, it's only because they've decided to give you their time, their emotion, their resources, and it's not because they are fools. But you see, if you keep taking from this woman and you never replenish, you never give back to her, the moment she exhausts her giving threshold and she gets into taking, you can't stand her. Because when a woman is scorned, she takes. And she takes to a point where, guys, be careful the things you're doing out there. Okay? They say, do not resurrect love when you're not ready for it. That's what the Bible says, right? Don't temper with love when you're not ready for it. So the moment somebody says they love you, or the moment you love somebody, it's an act of giving and receiving. And if that doesn't go hand in hand, and you keep taking from this lady till the point where she has nothing more to give, your life is not going to be too happy. Trust me. So if you know that you have no good intentions for this person, just leave them alone. Leave them alone. Because what you're doing is that you're depriving them of having, the enough to give to somebody that deserves it. And you're just being wicked. You're just being a hater. You are hating this person, but still smiling at her and making her feel that she's found someone. And for my ladies, you have big hearts. And when you know love is a decision, right? Because sometimes the men don't deserve it. Like when I see some of the men that you girls are with, I can only say that indeed this is a testament of giving. But it's not because of them. You see, when a woman loves a man, and that's why sometimes we don't get, and that's why it's all about flesh and funds. Now the world is all about flesh and funds. It's not about love anymore. Like, if you can give me money, I can give you my body. If I can give my body, I can give you. That's how it is. So then young girls are now expecting that men give them money as a demonstration of love. And when the men are asking for sex, you don't understand. Please, don't expect to be taking people's money and then say that you want to only have sex when you're married. Then wait till you marry before you take somebody's money. Because for him, the legitimate transaction here is that the more he gives you money, the more the back in the ground as well. Anyway, guys, ladies, please, for those of you who are going out there and making the decision that you never love again, it's only because you have to reconnect with yourself. Somebody somewhere or some guys somewhere have taken so much away from you. And until you get to the point where you find ways of replenishing all the things you're giving, finding peace with yourself, and getting to a point where when you make the decision to love someone, you have enough to give them. Don't go into love again. Your ears, they sweet you. So then when they say all those nice things, you like it. Boys are bad. Oh. But guys, see, ladies, you see, a man that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. So you have to be found. Don't be chasing. I always tell people that I think I've deviated. Forgive me. Let me just share this and I would end. I always tell people that when you find that they've stopped chasing you in relationship, end it. When you find that you are doing so much in a relationship, end it and just have your peace. Why am I saying that? Any relationship that can end with a text message, that you don't have to go through a court process to divorce and everything, you don't have to invest too much. They have to invest. Men have to chase. Men have to pursue. Men have to woo. Men have to come after you. You settle too quickly. Not that I'm not saying that don't love the person back and don't show them love and everything. But you see, the most blissful moments of your life should be in relationship. When you find yourself investing so much in a relationship, and some of you also let men deceive you by saying that, oh, he's engaged me. Please, engagement is not marriage. Unless you signed. Even when you are signed, it can end. How much more when there has nothing been signed? All I'm saying is that there should always be the act of decision making and the giving. And it should flow from him to her, and you complement it with what he's giving. You should have a reason to want to give him that much. And sometimes you give him that much because you don't think you deserve someone like that. And that's why a lot of you are running away from fine boys, right? When you meet a fine boy and somebody that has a lot of money, you are scared because you think that a lot of women will come after him and all. It's only because you haven't built yourself to a point where you think his wealth is equivalent to your value. So then you think that you need to do enough to show him that you're deserving of him. Stop that. Rather go back and enhance your own value. And that's why you do so much, because you feel that, hey, intimate partner, this guy says he loves me. Anytime you have put yourself in a situation where you feel that it's a privilege or it's a favor somebody is doing to you or for you by being in a relationship with you, you've lost it. You've only given him the key to abuse you. Women, Charlie, focus on yourself. Because you see, everywhere you get in life, the standard becomes different. So now that you are kowtowing to this guy at this your ground level, the moment God blesses you small, you see that, Charlie, how did I even end up here? Anyway, is love conditional? It's not. There's always a reason to make a decision. There's always a reason to keep giving. When the reason stops, you continuously giving is on you. And that's why you get hurt. That's why you get sad. That's why when a breakup happens, the one that gets hurt the most is the one that invested the most. Okay? So love is not unconditional. Don't be deceived. I love you unconditionally. No, I love you because you fall in a criteria that is worth my decision making and worth my giving. But what happens when that criteria changes? I make the decision that in spite of that, I will still love you. And what that means is that now the person has placed a value on you beyond what they first used to make the decision. So now they've changed the parameters of their decision making from maybe your physical body to your mental capacity or your ability. Like something has to give. Maybe they saw how sexy you looked and they pursued you. But now when they got into knowing you, they realized that, Charlie, you have a good head on your shoulder. Their life is really being ordered. Like something has changed in their life. Alice, you want to join the video? Okay, that would be great. Let's see. So you realize that something has changed in their life. And because of that, now it's not about how sexy your body looks anymore. It's about the fact that now they found value beyond your body. And you see, when you're truly with the person you're supposed to be with, when you're truly with the person you're supposed to be with, there's transformation. Any time you end up in a relationship with a man or a woman and there's no level of transformation that you can boldly talk about, then this relationship... Anyway, guys, I think today is my longest. I'm sorry. I like love. I like talking about love. I think people don't love enough these days. It's always conditional. Like, it's always like Give me this now. It's transactional. Condition is different from transactions. And I'm sure maybe with another Friday, we'll talk about that. But today, I want you to take these three things away. One, love is a decision. Two, love is demonstrated through the act of giving, and giving in so many ways. And then three, there's nothing like unconditional love. So if you want your relationship to last, have a sit down with your partner and then ask them, what is it that you need from me? What will make you continuously make the decision to love me? How can I be valuable to you? Talk to them and hear them, because love is not supposed to be a struggle. When I hear people in relationships and they're like, this is so tough, this is such work, relationship, and do marriage where you are obligated. Relationship is work. It is tough. Hey, sister, now, really? Relationship where you are supposed to be the queen of the moment. The guy is supposed to be finding reasons to make you love him every day. What they just what settle? What is it? Your friend saying what's your tone? And we Jimmy Sam cooking, cleaning, servicing, and after they will still cheat on you. My sister, relationship is supposed to be blissful. It's supposed to be a continuous pursuit, because you see, if he doesn't get used to chasing you, if he doesn't get used to valuing you, the moment he marries you, there's no work that he needs to do anymore. Men love the pursuit. Women, don't let it be too easy on them. And I'm not saying go and be difficult. No, because if he's identified that you're the one he wants to be with, there's a reason. And if he's going to move heaven and earth to get you, how is it that he's still not moving the heaven and earth now that he has gotten you? He could have the capacity to move heaven and earth, but now he can't even move stone for you. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I am so happy that a lot of you joined me today. I told you, love is a big subject. And for every Friday, come here, come with questions. Let's talk about this. I'm not a marriage counselor or whatever. I just think that I have enough experience in my life to be able to share some of these things. And I think sometimes because we really desperately want to be with someone, we tend to compromise a lot. Okay. And also because we haven't learned how to love ourselves enough, we tend to give too much. And when we are fully depleted, that's when we get depressed, that's where we lose our minds, and that's where we make the decision that we will never, ever love again. But trust me, love is meaningless. I mean, life is meaningless without love. Life is meaningless without love. Okay, so thank you so much. Let me just read a few comments. You have to quit relationship that's not transforming or elevating you to the level higher than it. Two is better than one. The Bible says that one will conquer 1,000, two will conquer 10,000. So then if you, on your own, you are conquering the 1,000, and then now two, you are not conquering, I mean, how? Just think about it. One was conquering 1,000, two comes and then you are conquering 500. That is a depreciation. Why is it? Are they haircutting? Okay. All right. So Alice says, thank you. Love is a decision. Yes, love is not transactional. Love is not a struggle. Yes, it's not supposed to be. It's not. It's not. You have to quit relationship that's not transforming. That's true. Yes, servicing. People are servicing things. It's tiring. Priska, what is tiring? Tell me about it. Relationships are not supposed to be tiring. The guy is supposed to be the one that is chasing you. Because he needs to find a wife and he needs to find a good thing. So why is he stopping? I really enjoy my lunch. Okay. All right, guys. I think lunchtime is almost over. You're shaking tables. Joy. I'm trying to, my intention is not to shake tables. My intention is just to help people find true love. There is true love, trust me. And when you find it, you will see that, Charlie, you don't have to work anymore. It's just effortless. They have become the sea. And some people are lazy now. People don't like working. So then most of you think you're in love, but you are people's businesses. You've registered, you are registered general's office. And they are getting their income from you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, your name, you need to add limited liability to it. Yeah, somebody's pension fund. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. All right, now I'm just being silly. All right, guys, thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed lunch break with me. Please go back and be productive. It's not a weekend yet. So those of you who start weekend from Friday, God forgive you. All right, guys, take care. Have a wonderful Friday. Enjoy yourself, enjoy love. And I really do pray that God would help you find love that is true. Because when you do, you breathe easy, you smile more, and you grow healthier. Those of you who are not growing healthy is because you lack love. It's not vitamins or supplements. It's love. Okay? All right, guys. Thank you so much and God bless you. Please do share. I know I'm committed to doing this every day, but if you don't share, we don't reach the people that need to hear this. So please share and let people also get to hear about it. Don't keep it to yourself. If you think my videos are valuable, share it with other people and let's together help others to be better and to do better. God bless you, and I hope you do find the love of your life. Bye-bye.